Only one thing matters. The truth.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Trent the Truth Show. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Trent the Truth Show. I'm your host, Trent the Truth. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're listening from, thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to our podcast on Spotify and YouTube. It's the Trent the Truth Show. While you're doing that, give us some love on social media. It's Trent the Truth on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you search. Real quick, today's episode is brought to you by Budgets and Bundles. Budgets and Bundles, located at 1608 Sibley Boulevard in Calumet City, Illinois. Again, 1608 Sibley Boulevard, Calumet City, Illinois. We got better deals than Family Dollar. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Closed on Sundays. Come check us out. Budgets and Bundles, 1608 Sibley Boulevard. And just like I tell you guys, you got any questions, comments, you want to be a guest or a sponsor, or if there's anything you want me to address, just email me at TrentTheTruthShow@gmail.com. Again, that's TrentTheTruthShow@gmail.com. And if you're feeling good and you want to bless us, our Cash App is TrentTheTruth88. Again, that's TrentTheTruth88. Don't forget to put the $sign in the front. And for the people out there in TV land, we got the QR code on the screen ready for you to pull your phone out and make the donation from wherever you're watching. But whatever it is you decide to do at the show, whether it's a question, comment, you want to be a guest or a sponsor, or you want to make a donation, whatever you're doing with the show, we truly appreciate the love. We got another good guest. We got Big John with us today. What up, boy?
What's going on, Trent?
Man,
How
finally,
are you?
I'm good, man. Finally good to get you here. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about getting together for the last couple weeks. Yeah. Yeah.
Even really before it got here.
Exactly. So, I had a lot going on. You got a lot going on.
I got plenty going on.
Yeah. So, man, we just gonna talk about it all, man. So I haven't seen you in probably none this year. It's probably my first time seeing you this year.
Definitely the first time this year.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you since probably
it's probably been
August.
A year. Right.
About
Since
August.
the picnic, somewhere around that time. Yeah, that ain't really that's not like you or nothing like that, but I know shit been happening, but fill me in, bro. What's been up with you?
Well, I did have a car accident in like right before Halloween, a couple weeks before Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of took my wheels away, took my mobility away.
Okay.
At least to get back out in here towards you to get my hair cut.
Right.
Because as you know, I bring my kid and we was always locked in.
Right.
But once I get some wheels back, we'll be back out here.
Yeah.
Like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, man. But even before that though, like I feel like you had kind of just went through a lot of things that I don't even know if you really had a chance to talk about or get off your chest. I know you just recently, within the last 2 or 3 years, lost your pops.
Lost my mama.
Yeah.
I lost my dad right at the beginning of COVID.
Right. Okay. So your mom was the last, right?
Yeah,
so that was
the day after my son's birthday in 2024.
Wow.
The very day after.
So what was going on? Like, may she rest in peace, both of your parents. Your dad rest in peace. Did your dad die to COVID or?
Complications of COVID is what they classified it as.
Man, that's tough. And then 4 years later, was your mom sick?
Yeah, she had stage 4 lung cancer.
Wow.
She couldn't put cigarettes down. And I'm talking about after she found out she had cancer, the doctors was like, quit smoking cigarettes. And she still couldn't put them down.
Wow.
No matter how hard I tried, I took the packs, hid the packs, never would take her to buy a pack, but she definitely found a way to keep cigarettes.
Damn. So how did that make you feel? Like not even necessarily fully recovering from losing your pops.
Well, they say time heals all, but that would be, for lack of better words, a misnomer.
Right.
Because there's nothing that ever prepares you for that.
Exactly.
Like, I lost my dad, and I couldn't even see my dad. We had to wait 1.5 years for his memorial. Yeah, because it was COVID. We couldn't have big crowds. We couldn't have that. There was so many stipulations and things like that. Like we had to delay it until restrictions were lifted.
Damn.
So we didn't have his memorial to celebrate or honor his life until literally on my birthday a year and a half later.
Wow. And he was already gone, so y'all just had to get together. So was
Yeah.
there any formal funeral at all, or
No, so we just did a memorial.
okay?
He wanted to be cremated, so had his ashes there, at a little church. Uh, it was pretty intimate. It wasn't a large memorial.
Okay.
You know, his kids. Uh, I had my son there. You know, his other children's mom, my sister, my brother. Other than that, just a few close family friends
Right.
and a few of his closest friends. That's really it. It was real small, real intimate. I don't think it was more than 30 people there.
How was y'all relationship?
Um, it got better as an adult.
Okay.
He wasn't really around a lot. He paid his child support. I seen him here and there. I seen him for like I seen him for all like those major moments in my life. So like graduations, things like that. He showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but as far as the rest of it, he was around but not there. If that makes sense.
I know what you mean. Like, um, somewhat there. Like you say,
Yeah,
seeing him here and there.
yeah. I see him here and there because we was in the bowling alley. Like
Okay.
growing up, like I was a kid raised in the bowling alley. So like he bowled. Um, he'd call for birthdays, talk to him on his birthday, but other than that, it wasn't really a lot
No,
of
no real father son
yeah,
relationship. So growing up, it was just you and your mom.
really. That and my grandma.
Okay. So you say y'all get older. When you get older, then the relationship improves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How does it? How did that ice break? How does that? How did the icebreaker happen? So like to make you know that the relationship was improving. What was it?
So I had just turned 21.
Okay.
I happened to be in a bowling alley. He came in. He saw me. He was like, "Hey, son." I said, "What up, Dad?" He was like, "You 21 now?" I say, "Yeah. You just talked to me on my birthday." He was like, "I know, but come on, follow me. Let's go to the bar. Have a drink. You drink?" I'm like, you know, I was fresh 21, so I didn't really drink.
Mm-hmm.
Like liquor was still at that nasty tasting phase to me.
Right.
So I was like, "Yeah, we could have one, Dad. Come on, what you want to get?" I think at the time we was drinking vodka. It was like a shot of Grey Goose and cranberry or something like that. But my dad never really delved into hard liquor. Like his hard liquor wasn't his choice. Like it wasn't his go to. But he wanted to have like an actual drink. So we had that, and at the time he was always heavy in the Miller Lite. Like you couldn't separate him and his Miller Lite. But I ain't like beer at the time. You know what I'm saying? So he bought two Grey Gooses and cranberries. He bought him a Miller Lite. Cheers, toasted, drank it. But then like after that, like it was more frequent calls, conversations, things like that.
Right. Okay. So you started to see it from there.
Yeah,
Okay.
as an adult. I mean, granted, it took it as an adult for me to get to an adult for it to happen, but better late than never.
Exactly. That's what's up. So y'all started hanging out a little bit, or did you ever get like any explanations or anything? Did you want any? Did you want any, or you just kind of let it go?
I let it go. I mean, at that point, I'm an adult. Like whatever happened, happened. I can't
Right.
change it. I can't take it back. So it was no point of even really talking about it with him.
Do you
Like,
know what happened? Like, did your mom ever like tell you anything, or did you ever see anything?
no,
Okay.
but again, it's two adults co-parent and take care of this little person.
Right.
Like at that time, it wasn't really my duty or responsibility to know. You know what I'm saying? I'm the child. I'm the one that's supposed to be taken care of. I'm the one that's being raised. So once I'm an adult now, well, I'm an adult. Whatever happened, I cannot
Right.
go
You let it
back.
go. Right. You let it
I
go.
gotta let it go.
Right.
Because why am I hold it against them?
Exactly. I mean, that's fair. But I would just feel like at some point, maybe through conversation, maybe he'll at least want to offer that to you, or
Well,
but
maybe
that
he was
never
waiting
did.
on me. I don't know.
So you saying in your head, you like, well, if he don't say nothing, I ain't gonna say nothing. And then in his mind, he say, I'll answer if he asks me.
Yeah, I mean, if he would
And
have,
it never happened.
if he ever wanted to have that conversation, we could have had that conversation.
Right.
But for me, it was one of those things that I couldn't change.
Right.
So I didn't see the need. It is just like ripping open a band-aid on a past wound. Like if the wound is sealed up and healed up or healing, things like that, why am I bust it wide open again?
Right.
Why release those emotions back out?
So you like, I'm gonna take the relationship where it's starting at right now. We're gonna start from here.
Start
Because I
from here.
can't change the past, even if you do have a great explanation.
Right. It's not gonna change what happened. You Dad, I
Yeah.
love you, but wasn't really there.
So did the bond come through the bowling, or was it just other things?
It actually came through, well, because at the time he was like really like out of bowling, so he just happened to come to the bowling alley because he still knew bowlers.
Okay.
Like he still knew other people that still actively bowl, so he just came up there to see them, and I happened to be there.
Mm,
But from there, it kind of like flourished into our own little thing.
that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? So he uh he would reach out more. I would reach out to him if I really needed something. If I really really needed something, I could call him
Right.
and be like, "Dad, I need $100," or you know what I'm saying. Like I still got regular birthday cards. Like he still gave me regular birthday cards. He gave me Christmas cards, things like that. Even as a full-fledged grown adult with a job, and at the time I had a relationship with the mother of my child. So
Mm-hmm.
he still, you know what I'm saying? He kind of was there in a sense.
Right.
He started to come around,
That's
which I
good.
could always just appreciate him for just being there.
Right. And then you say he passed in COVID. What was that like?
He passed April 2nd, 2020.
So y'all have about a good 15, 16, 17 years.
Not really. So if you think about it,
You was 21. That was '09. About a good 11 years.
yeah,
10, 11 years. That's
because
good.
Cairo just turned 7, so he met Cairo when Cairo was like 2 weeks old, and that was realistically the only ever time he actually got to meet Cairo.
Mm. Mm. So you dealing with that. Y'all relationship gets strong, and then in COVID he passed away, and then you said 4 years later.
Yep, May 28th, 2024.
Wow.
I lost the last parent I had left.
Right. Like how do you feel?
So they say a lot of people say that jokes have truthful meaning behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I dealt with it was, uh, I just told people I was an orphan.
And that helps you.
It did.
But I know deep down you
It
holding it a
it
lot.
hurt.
Right. Like you holding so much. Like have you ever sat down and had a chance to talk to anybody about any of this?
No.
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm glad you're here. I'm honored that you'll speak to me about it. Um, but stuff like that is heavy just to carry around. On top of just everyday life, being a father, being black,
Yeah.
being in relationships, you dealing with processing
Processing
my
emotions
mother
from
and my father.
losing my. Really, it started with my grandma. Processing emotions from my grandma
Right.
back in 2011
Okay.
to then my dad in 2020 and then my mom in 2024.
And you just really never had a chance to just, yeah, no, like, man, how do you find ways to just get through it outside of telling other people you're an orphan, like when you by yourself or
So I have my mom's ashes.
okay.
My son helps me. He helps me more than he'll ever know. Like, he probably won't understand it until he probably about my age now.
Right.
He won't get it because I still have to cope with his emotions. You know? So like that was his grandma. My mom was his grandma. So like there are days where like there are days where he'll just be like, Dad, I miss grandma. And he wanna start crying. So I can't I tell him I understand and I miss her too, but like I gotta be there for him.
Right.
So I can't fold or buckle while he there. Because that's not a good that's not a good source of like what it looks like to have to deal with that. Like his time is gonna come too.
But why you think that though? You don't think it's okay to cry and feel your emotions in front of them?
It's
'Cause
not that
it's a big problem.
it's not that I shouldn't go through my emotions with him. It's just that I can't go through my emotions when he's going through his emotion because he's more emotional being a child.
So you kind of
He
gotta
has less emotional intelligence than I do.
right, right.
So it's a two-part process, right? So I'm training him to be emotionally intelligent, but also allowing him to express his emotions
So even while you doing that, you gotta kind of compartmentalize,
and navigate how he
right,
feels.
and not
Because
how you feel.
I still feel the same way he feels, but I can express it to him, but I can't just when he decides to go in his ball outfit, we just sit and ball out.
Right. But see, that's where we start at though. Now you understanding uh, um, how vital and precious it is to make sure how you manage the child, because if you mismanage it, or if you don't really hone in on it the right way, and they grow up with those issues, or they're not able to express themselves the right way, and they grow up to be men who have a hard time expressing themselves, getting things off their chest, not understanding how to um, have emotions, having misconceptions about manhood and things like that. So it's
Like
good that you're doing that, but at the same time, you're not helping yourself. Like I'm trying to see how you helping yourself.
at this point, it's not necessarily about me anymore.
That's fair.
It's not about me.
That's fair.
I'm raising the future generation of a man who is going to have to do the same thing that I went through, God willing.
Right.
So I need him to be able to understand and even look back and remember just these moments because he tells me all the time he's like, oh, Dad, when I become a parent, is this gonna happen? And I'll be like, well, maybe, who knows? But we don't know what that looks like for you until you become of age. So like
Right.
we could hone down this topic a little bit because you're 7.
Right.
I don't want you to be an 18-year-old dad, but I don't want you to be a 40-year-old first time father either. So
Exactly.
like whenever that moment comes, whenever that situation comes, like we'll revisit it. It'll be a sat down conversation. He'd tell me, Dad, I got her pregnant. Hopefully it's his girlfriend on his way to being his wife, his fiance, or whatever they are at the time. Hopefully it's a healthy, happy relationship and I can wish him nothing but the best. And I've hopefully given him enough examples and opportunities to know what that looks like.
Right. And it's good to know how to channel your emotions, just as long as when you know you feeling heavy, you are able to talk to somebody. You got somebody to talk to, or somebody to help you through those times. Um, because it's important.
It really is.
It's important. It's important.
And
And then
it's
so
ironic that we chose now to do this because it is June. It's Men's Mental Awareness Month.
mental health, well, yeah. And that's serious. That's probably one of the biggest things.
There's so many men that do things to themselves and unattach themselves from reality and end up in some really deep dark holes.
Yeah.
And it's our job as men and especially as black men to just try to prevent that from the next person if we can.
That's true. I see posts all the time about, men who aren't here with us anymore because they, took themselves out the game, kicked their king over, what I would like to say in chess terms. Um, and you try to understand it. You try to put yourself in those men's shoes and try to understand the situations because a lot of them be common situations.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of them be, everything is specific. It's all case by case. No reason for somebody kicking their king over is the same as the next person or whatever.
They might have a few similarities, but nothing's ever truly the same.
Exactly. Or just not even going that extreme, just knowing how to express yourself as a man. Making sure you have those opportunities because a lot of times we feel like, and we see these posts all the times, we hear it, and we laugh at it. The post talking about, men are only as good as what they can do or, what they can bring.
Men are only as good as what they can provide.
Yeah. It'd be funny, you laugh, ha ha ha,
But you
but
never know what that man done dealt with.
exactly. And a
Or
lot of it be
what he's
rooted in so
dealing
much
with.
truth. It'd be rooted in so much truth. And, people, they promote uh, being vulnerable, talking about it. But I was talking to one of my buddies about this a couple episodes ago. It's a mind fuck to know that words like vulnerability and stoicism exist because they both are kind of like the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
One is telling you to open up, don't be afraid to,
And the other one is telling you to shut down.
and
Keep it to yourself.
the other one is telling you to keep it in, take it on the chin.
But a lot of us were raised like, keep it in, take it on the chin.
Right.
But that was just.
And then we find out that, another word, vulnerability exists, or, talking, being open.
But that's the difference between being raised in the 90s and being raised in 2026. Like those are the clear cut differences between being raised in the 90s. You fail on the ground, throw some dirt on it, get up. Now you got small kids. They fall, you run to them. Maybe you run to them, maybe you don't. Maybe you ran to them at a time, but realized it was gonna be okay. Like it ain't that bad. Like don't harp on it because
Right.
the pain. Like I try to tell my son, I tell him that the pain is temporary. What hurts afterward is your ego, your pride.
Right.
After that, if I fall on the ground, that it really honestly only hurt for 3 minutes, about 180 seconds. The rest of what you feel is your ego telling you
Internal.
you're hurt.
Yeah.
So I try to deal with that, but he's 7, so it's not an easy task.
How's your relationship with his mom?
We've had better days. It's it's a work in progress because it's different.
Okay.
There are days where I don't want to really be talkative to her. I could be maybe sort of standoffish, or I could be non-communicative about things that's going on. But it's also like, well, we aren't in a space anymore where I feel like I should have to communicate that to you. But that could be my own, just me. That could just really be me.
Y'all
So
not
like,
in,
I don't want to tell her things like that's going on or things going on in my life because it's like, what does she really need to know this for?
y'all not on or what? Well, how come y'all not in those spaces?
Well, we uh we ended our relationship.
Oh, okay.
Um, we ended our relationship about a year, about 14 months ago.
Okay. You
Lived
know,
together for like another 4 months,
you
and
know
then I
exactly.
just one day it was just
You
a situation happened, and I just decided to leave.
you saw a situation happen.
A situation happened, and then like from there, I just kind of just walked away from it.
So just listening to the way you explained it, it would sound like it was somebody else or something. Or
No,
what
it
happened?
was a It was a situation involving a behavior of mine that I'll say, and it wasn't like another person. Let's just say it was the internet, without getting into too many details about it.
Okay. Because I think we did talk about something similar to
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So it was a situation that happened. She felt the way about it. I could respect why she felt like that, but at the same time, it's like, well, what else am I supposed to do about it? It's not like you're trying to help me solve this problem because you telling me you don't want to be with me.
right.
So like,
She was looking for some escorts or something.
no,
Okay.
no, it was literally not another physical person.
Oh, okay. You okay? I get it. I get it.
Something happened. It was oversaw. It was reported back to her. She didn't like it. Um, and from there, it just kind of like hit the fence, hit the ceiling.
Okay, so that's the reason y'all not together, or was it things leading up to
Well,
it?
it was things that led up to that was when I left.
Right, that was just
That was
the
like
final straw.
the breaking, the take the straw, split it in half.
Somebody saw something you was doing, and it was
Not even necessarily doing, just watching.
oh, okay. So you got a graphic Instagram page or something,
Sure,
or
let's go with that. Let's go with a graphic
on them
Instagram page.
you on them websites. Oh man. Well. That don't sound like enough to end. How long were y'all together?
7 years.
Hell no. You was doing something.
That was it. That was the straw. But so there was a situation the same day after the picnic, the last time I saw you, where I guess she decided that taking my house key and making me call her when I need to get in the house was the right situation. That's really why I ultimately just walked away because it's like, well, if I'm taking care of the household, why is it that I have to answer to you or respond to you in a way or reach out to you in order to get in a place where I reside? And it was just like, no, I'm not doing that. I'll just go. So I left. Since then, I've had to sit in many of my thoughts um, alone, really. Like I had to sit with myself and look at different things that I did throughout the relationship, different things that I took from her, different things I did to her. I did things to her that I do regret. Um, but
What you do?
let's call it so as she would classify it as infidelity. But her term for infidelity is was very broad. So it went from like liking pictures on Instagram and comments
So
to liking pictures on Instagram to looking at other women to it was just like this never
that was cheating to her?
to her.
Damn, hold on. So you can't you see something nice on Instagram. You don't because a lot of times stuff be ads or suggested or on a explore page or whatever. But she's seeing you like it. You know,
Liking
you
it.
can just look at it.
That's what she said. And then when I looked at it, it after a while that became the problem. Oh, you don't only got eyes for me,
Oh wow.
like
Okay, but you know what though? Even if that's how she thinking and if that's how she feeling, is she supporting her making you only have eyes for her? So is she doing her part? Is she
well, at the time I didn't feel like it.
okay?
Like
Did you let her know that?
I tried to in different ways. I never like was direct and I probably never directly just told her that.
Yeah, stuff like you can't play around.
No, some things you just probably need to be a little more direct
For
instead
real.
of just beating around the bush.
If it ain't that, it ain't that.
But a lot of it was my fault, and I'm more than happy to take accountability for what I did. And I
Okay,
understand that
so
because, like I said, in the last
I don't know.
in the last few months, I had to sit in it.
You ain't finna tell me I'm cheating because I didn't like. Hell no.
Or like I wasn't allowed to have like female friends.
Yeah, see them types. I mean, she's controlling. And she was like that from the beginning. Like, did she set them tones before y'all even got to a year? You see, y'all was together 7 years. Did she set these rules and tell like, look, fam?
The social media rules, yeah, which is why I ended up actually calling it quits on social media. I took a break. I deactivated all social media accounts from Snapchat to Instagram to Twitter to whatever, Facebook, whatever it was.
Because every social media page you got motherfuckers on that twerking.
Well, not necessarily twerking, but it's just, you know,
Just ass.
just women. But again, I'm a man. What you would expect me to have a timeline of men to look at?
You know, I mean, hey, I get it, brother. I get it. Like, you know, that's a little extreme though. Now I can understand you trying to inbox them, you trying to meet up with them, you trying to, you know,
mm-hmm.
because I heard I heard we got some friends that, you know what I'm saying? We got some friends, you know, that get into that, you
Yeah.
know. But that's one thing. But you just looking at it, you following them, like, you know what I'm saying? And it sounded like maybe somebody who shouldn't have seen something that was on your phone went back and reported it. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So
That's tough, especially if it was like a friend or you know what I'm saying, some shit like that. But that's tough. But that sounds like a deal breaker. What were some other things?
so we actually had a like a miniature conversation like a few months afterwards, and she just didn't like the way I communicated. But it's the
How you
way,
talk to her, or
but it's just the way I communicate. You know what I'm saying? Like I deal with things, I hold it in. I don't necessarily have to say anything about it. I don't say anything about it. And like she was more vocal about the things that I did that bothered her. And I just wasn't. And I'm not. Because those things to me weren't big enough to create an argument. I don't like to argue. I
but
don't, and I felt like some of those topics or some of those things might have just led to an argument. So I just brushed it off, let it go. When I probably shouldn't have.
right when you should have just been down to talk about it.
Yeah.
But like I say, is that good for you though to hold all this stuff in when you're given chances to talk about it?
No, because that makes me a ticking time bomb.
And that's exactly what I was thinking. So it's really just if you don't talk about these issues, bro, if you don't get a chance to unpack it. So I'm just listening to everything you're saying and I'm trying to create a timeline. So boom, 2011, you say you lose a granny. You going through that. You probably just getting okay with knowing that. But then here come you lose pops, 2020. You probably having a hard time because you now that you got the relationship you want to have with your dad, it ends.
Mm-hmm.
You wrapping your man around that, having to wait a year and all that other type of stuff before y'all can even have
Yeah,
a service for
he
him.
died in Jackson Park Hospital alone in a room.
See what I'm saying? You thinking about that, and I'm just listening to how you're explaining this shit to me. I know this is really, really, really getting to you. And then years later, not even a year, 4 years later, 4 short years later, you lose your mom. The one
Watched
you
her take
grew
her
up with.
last breath.
Yeah, see?
That's probably the most traumatizing event.
Right. Going
Cause
through.
like I got a phone call about my grandma. It was a phone call about my dad to watch my mama take her last breath.
Yeah, that's strong, bro.
And it's funny because it's like that day, so the day before was Cairo's birthday, May 27th. It was like she held on the entire month until his birthday. And then next morning, we had a barbecue for his birthday at the house. Outside, a bunch of my friends and their kids all came through. I was barbecuing out front. Great merry time. My mom's sitting in the house, struggling. I go in and out the house, checking on her, seeing if she needs something, because she can't really talk to me at this point. It's just like sounds and grunts. So we end up finishing up the barbecue, go back in the house, um, checking on her, constantly going back and forth, checking on her. That next morning when I woke up, she sounded like she couldn't even breathe. It was, I looked over, and at that time, I just had to come to terms that my mama was not going to make it through that day. Like I had to cope with that. I had to sit in that and listen to her breathe like that all day until she was done breathing. Like there was actually a few moments throughout the course of that day where I thought she had passed on. So like it went from like really rapid, deep, noisy breaths to more slowly spaced out but still noisy. So like when it got to that point where it was spaced out but still noisy, like I'm going over there to look and I could still see her chest moving here and there, like when she take a breath. So I ended up calling the hospice company and was like, she's not making it through the day. I just want y'all to know. They was like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm listening to her breathe and it's not great. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but today is the day. And I had to be calm and relaxed in that moment.
Right. Because it's still death. Death is so much of a business, bro. You still got to do business.
Yeah.
And it sucks because you got to call some people and tell them.
Especially being the only child. So like I had to deal with everything. I had to deal with the funeral parlor to come get her. I had to deal with the hospice company. They came out after I called and was like, I had to wait like 10 minutes. I literally I had to wait 10 minutes because they say your brain doesn't turn off until 7 minutes after you. That's when death is actually complete at about the 7 minute mark. So I had to wait like 10 minutes of watching her not breathe or not do anything to call them and be like, my mama is passed away.
And you watched it all start to finish.
Start to finish. I was standing right by her bedside. Standing right there by her bedside. I watched her take the last one. And then I had to wait 10 minutes.
To watch the final everything.
Just to see what happened.
Right.
Like there was multiple times where I knew she was gone and I tried to close her eyes and she opened them.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Like more than one time. Like I'll wipe my hand over her eyes and close them. And I might look up and look back down and her eyes are open again. But she's not there because she's not breathing. She hasn't took a breath in a few minutes and I literally can see it. You can see it because her chest ain't
nothing going on.
Nothing going on.
Wow.
So like the final time I tried to close her eyes, they stayed closed. And that was when I made the phone call. It was like, okay, she's at rest. They came and picked her up. They were like, do you want to call any of your other family members? You want to call any other family members so they could come see her one last time before we come pick her up? I called my cousins, my aunt, and asked them if they wanted to come. They was like, how long do you need? I said, about an hour, hour and a half. So like my mom was literally sitting there dead in front of me for about 2 hours. The hospice company ended up sending a nurse out to call TLD. They called TLD at like 7:07 or something like that. But most of that was just because it took them that long to get there from the time. that I called. So from there, I called the funeral home. It was like, how long do you need? I was like, an hour should be okay. Like, I don't want to just have my mom here, like, looking at her lifeless body. Because I just watched her take her last breath. I really want to walk out the house.
Right.
But it wasn't anybody else's responsibility that was in the household to do that. So I couldn't. But once they came and got her, uh, and I shed my last tears, at least I'll say I shed my last tears in that moment.
Right.
For that moment, I shed my last tears for that moment. Um, I had to regroup, recollect. I actually, after they took her body, I just went and walked outside. I just started walking.
Wow. Wow. Damn, bro. That was heavy, man. And everything from that point on was just all business.
Mm-hmm.
I got to plan her funeral. Well, you cremated her.
Yeah, she wanted to be cremated,
I got to plan a memorial.
which I did. I actually did it on her birthday. So I had to wait a few weeks for the ashes to come back. Um, from there, I took probably like another month or so, like another 5 weeks, and I did our memorial on our birthday. Called all our friends. It came out. It was a balloon release at Dan Ryan Woods on 87.
So when you're going through all of this, you was also saying that in that 7 years of you being with your girl, y'all was having issues. Was she giving you any kind of grace through any of this? Like, was she supportive? Was she there for you during that time?
She was.
Okay, but it was kind of like limited because y'all was kind of still having y'all issues.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's wow.
It was a lot going on at the time.
Right, and you gotta deal with every piece of it.
Every piece. Like I'm trying to navigate her, trying to navigate my mom. I ended up actually that year I actually ended up taking like a whole 30 days off of work
Okay.
because it got to a point where it was like, okay, well, this is your mom. This isn't her mom. Like it's not actually her mom. So to still go to work and then have to have her deal with it while I'm at work just so I could still make the ends meet, make the bases touch.
Right.
Um I actually found that to be unfair to her. So like I sat down with my boss at the time and was like, "Hey, hospice is talking about my mama could die any day. I can't. I'm not even in the right mental space to come to work. So I was basically working in customer service, hotel security. I got to interact with guests. I got to be in front of people. Like,
Right. I ain't in no shape for none of this.
not really, no. Like, no matter how hard I try to hold it, it might not be a good day for me, and
Right.
it's gonna be a bad day for somebody else.
Mm.
So I ended up telling him he took me off. They was accommodating. I give them that they were accommodating. They took me off the schedule and was
Okay.
like, okay, well, let me know when you could come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep me informed, basically. I ended up exhausting all of my PTO that year.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a lot, but I'm okay.
And then shortly after that, the relationship is over.
Mm-hmm.
7 years down the drain.
Completely dissolved.
Down the drain.
I wouldn't say it was down the drain because it could only be down the drain if I didn't learn anything from it.
That's true. So what you learned?
I learned what I should and shouldn't accept that I should be more communicative uh, about whatever I'm thinking about. Like if she did something that bothers me, I need to be man enough to tell you and
Right.
just have to have that tough conversation with you.
You don't think you was being man enough in those situations?
No.
Or like you said, you was just trying to keep the peace.
Yeah.
That's a
Like
crazy decision.
It is. It seemed like I'm choosing between peace that I should actually just have.
Right. Having a backbone and just
like if
bending over.
You my person, I should be able to come to you.
Right.
But I just wasn't man enough to do it. So I didn't want to have the conversation. I didn't want to create the chaos.
Where did that come from though? Is it just when you deal with your personal relationships, or is that any kind of relationship you kind of be like afraid to speak up and shit, bro? that timid shit. Where you get that from?
I've always been like that.
Always.
I'm quiet.
Okay.
I've been quiet. I was quiet in high school, Trent.
So
4 years you saw me. You can't think of one time you ever seen me just yelling, screaming, doing anything.
Yeah, no.
But I was timid. I was quiet. I'm reserved. I don't like to create chaos, especially not chaos with words.
Right. But I mean that's
But that was me
you can be that person and still know how to express yourself.
I understand that now.
Right. Okay. But
Hindsight is
didn't know
2020.
how. You didn't know how to speak your mind.
I knew how.
Didn't care to.
I just didn't care to. I didn't want it to feel like, oh, he complaining about this. Oh, well, now we finna argue. And
stoic. You chose a stoic route.
Yeah, I guess so.
And you held all that in.
Mm-hmm.
And then now.
And I took a lot.
And you took a lot.
I took a lot on the chin.
Now you got to use the opposite and be vulnerable and talk about all this kind of stuff, because as you, like you say, as you continue to store this in and you don't get it out, you're a ticking time bomb.
Waiting to blow up.
On anybody.
Anybody, anywhere.
Right. And it's like,
who knows?
A person like yourself, yeah, you talking about you timid and all this, you shy and all that other shit.
Not shy.
Once you decide, or timid,
reserved.
I put it all together. But once you decide that those days is over with and you just unleash, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. This is how mass shooters be created. Not saying that that's what you own, but not getting a chance to just
let
release.
it go.
Yeah.
I looked into therapy at one point in time.
Did it work?
My insurance I didn't like the way my insurance handled it.
What you mean?
So, the insurance that I had to spend $3,000. I had to pay $3,000 out of pocket first for it, or $6,000 depending on if it was in network or out of network, and then they cover like 50% if it was out or 75% if it was in. But I had actually found as I wanted to go to a black therapist, which I didn't find many that were in network. So I would have had to end up spending $5,000 or $6,000 out of pocket going through sessions and different therapies and things like that before they even started covering some percentage of it. And I just didn't deem it worthy at the time because the budget was already tight enough. I didn't need any more constraints on it.
When was you going to talk to somebody if you ain't come over here today?
Who knows? I've given people bits and pieces. I've never given anybody like one sit down full story.
Right.
But like I let it off in my way. Like I give a bit to this person over here. I give a bit to this other really close person over here. Now them two do know each other, but they're not gonna go towards each other and have that conversation about me without me being present. At least.
And compare. Yeah.
Basically, compare notes.
I get that. And I guess you need people like that in your corner. I saw a post, and I wanted to ask you about it. Women rely on men, kids rely on men. Who do men rely on? Who do you rely on
I rely on myself.
to be able to get you through everything? But you don't like to speak up for yourself.
Which is why I rely on myself.
How does that work?
I don't have to sit. I don't always have to sit and talk back and forth to myself.
Okay.
I could sit and think back and forth, have a conversation in my head, and get to my resolution. But I don't have to speak. I don't have to give it out. I don't have to put it into the universe. I just leave it where it is. And I might sit there and have a conversation with myself in my head, like, John, what could you've done better? What did you do wrong?
Right.
Oh, well, I did this, so I could have done this better. But I don't have to open my mouth and physically say that out loud.
Right.
But I can also have that banter back and forth within my own head.
I guess that's something that could help, but I mean, I feel like you need more than that. Everybody can't.
100%.
Yeah. So
You need to let it go, because talking to yourself, you're only really seeing it from one point of view, your own. Because that's the only point of view you can actually see things from a vast majority of the time.
right.
Like, we try to sympathize and empathize with people in their situations, but it's not always necessarily the easiest thing to do, especially if we've never been in that situation.
Right.
So like so like um the day, both your parents still here?
My dad is gone. My mom's still here.
Okay. So the day that, God forbid, that happens, um I'll be able to empathize with what you're going through because I've been through it. But before I went through it, I wouldn't have any understanding of what you're actually going through.
Right.
So like, it can only go so far.
Right.
Like, knowledge can only take you so far because you never felt what it felt like.
Facts. No, I definitely agree with that because something that I do is I lost my pops in 2010. I was 22 years old. Terrible feeling. Went through that. So now when my friends lose their dad, I make sure I be there for them. Like, I'll go as far as trying to make either the wake or the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just to
Yeah,
be there
just to
for
be
them.
present.
Hell yeah. Even when you lost your pops, make sure I was hitting you up. I know COVID was kind of like, you know
COVID was a thing.
Hell yeah. But like, no, Joe, I make sure I kind of show up because I know that shit is important.
No, I do. And I definitely remember. I definitely did appreciate
It's important. That. It's definitely important. So like you say, you know, when that day comes, I will be able to hit you up and you walk me through some shit.
100%.
Hell yeah. But you still gotta find some kind of way to continue to cope. You know, with dealing with everything.
Well, right now I cope in a pretty unhealthy way.
Drinking.
Yep. And I understand it. But
you've been, I don't even know if you can blame drinking because you've been a fish.
Yes, but it all started after my grandma died.
Okay.
That's when it really started.
Okay.
I was dealing with that. Like, that whole situation with my grandma, I remember that just as vividly as I remember anything else. So one day my grandmother woke up. She had a boil under her arm, under her left arm. And she had that boil before. And, we let it come to a head, popped it, went away, gone, good. All right, cool. So this one came, or what we thought was a boil came back up under her arm. So we gave it a few days. It never really came to a head, but she was telling me, she was like, it was like hurting. But, anything that's just growing under your skin that's not supposed to be there is going to hurt.
Right.
So after it never really came to a head, we ended up actually going to the doctor. And it was like, okay, well, we're going to do a biopsy. They did a biopsy. Took it out, came back, I was now, mind you, I was the one driving her back and forth to the hospital. So she, one day we go to get our biopsy results,
Mm-hmm.
and the doctors called her to the back. I was trying to go to the back with her. She looked at me with that look that only grandmas can. If you know, you know. Like, boy, you're not coming back here. Go take your ass somewhere else.
Right.
So I went and sat in the car. I listened, uh, listened to the radio because it was 2011. Smartphones wasn't super popular just yet. Everybody didn't have a smartphone. Everybody had a cell phone, but not a smartphone. Um, so she ended up coming out the doctor that day in tears. In tears.
Mm.
Um, and I'm steady asking her what's wrong, and she like won't tell me. But that was just her way of protecting her grandbaby from the world, from the harsh reality.
Mm.
Um, she just cried the whole 20-minute ride home. Like the 25-minute ride home, she was just crying in the passenger seat. I'm steady asking her, what's wrong, grandma? What's wrong? What's wrong? Like you crying, like what's wrong? Like tell me what's going on. She was like, no. So my grandmother is even the person that told me she had cancer, stage 4 breast cancer.
Mm.
My aunt told me, or my mom told me. One of them two people told me, if not both of them at the same time, because she couldn't tell me. Um, so from there, we dealt with chemo treatments back and forth. Um, she ended up having a double mastectomy. My grandmother at 70, 70 something years old had a double mastectomy. So there's that. All her hair done fell out from chemo. So we trying to get back to her normal life because the doctors declared her cancer free. And about 6 months later, um, about five, like late September, yeah, let's call it late September. I'm out. I'm at the bowling alley. I'm at Castaways. My grandma calls me and tells me she fell down the stairs.
Mm.
I say, okay, I'm on my way. I hightail it from Castaways. I stayed in London town on 100th and Cottage Grove. From Castaways in Calumet City,
Yeah.
it took me 9 minutes to get home. 9. I was doing like 100 miles an hour in this 1996 purple Ford Contour.
You shoot right on that Sibley, get off on 103rd.
Flying up the street.
Flying.
I get there. I say, what happened? She said, well, baby, I woke up in my room and my mirror was all white. Looked like the whole room was lit up. I say, huh? At the time, I didn't really understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like looking back on it, like I done had 15 long years to like revisit that moment. And that was really the moment that started everything else that ended up leading to her death.
Mm.
So like she when she told me that, I'm like, okay. Like, but it's a light. So like the way the room used to be faced. So next to her bed, so her bed was in between two windows. Her mirror was in front of the bed
Right.
on her dresser with the nightstand. So like at the time I didn't understand. Like she told me like it was all like the whole thing was like white, like the whole thing lit up. And me thinking it's just a light from like the neighbor's house or something, like just, crept through the window. She panicked.
Mm.
I ain't really putting too much thought or too much effort into it. So like I picked her up, I carried her back up the stairs, and she ended up falling down the stairs like a week later. And I was like, Grandma, I think we need to go back to the hospital. Turns out the cancer had moved to form lesions on her brain.
Wow.
Yeah, so she went into a coma for about a week, right around my birthday. So I'm dealing with that, getting ready to turn 23 years old. She was in a coma for about a week, and then the doctors released her into hospice care. From there, I just basically watched her shrivel up and die. Well, shrivel up until I got a phone call that she passed away because I couldn't be at home.
Wow. Damn.
But for years, I felt like it was my fault because instead of having her go to the doctor the first time when we discovered the boil, I let it wait. I let time pass.
How much time?
Shit, really months.
Before
like
you noticed,
her
before you
first,
said
like her
something.
first, like her first, the first instance where something grew up under her arm. Like I said, we was able to bust it and it went away. So like months and months developed and happened again before the next one came back.
Right.
But by that time, it was stage 4 breast cancer.
Damn. I don't know if that was your fault though. I don't think you should feel bad for them. You know, that's crazy.
I've had probably 200 people tell me that it was not my fault.
Yeah.
I've not been able to get over it yet.
I don't think that's tough.
I understand what
See,
everybody.
now you're putting weight on yourself.
I understand what everybody is saying. Like, it's not on me.
Thanks again for tuning in to the Trent the Truth Show. Please make sure you like and subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. Follow us on social media, Trent the Truth. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you want to be a guest, email me at TrentTheTruthShow@gmail.com. Again, that's TrentTheTruthShow@gmail.com. Thanks again. Tell your friends. Watch it together.